A lot of women are a reflection of their men. So a lot of women, especially if they're not completely broken, let's say you've had a girl, she's had 3 or 4 boyfriends, whatever. Because if you look at, they always say nice guys finish last, and most beautiful women could get a nice guy who will do anything they want and give them all his money and be loyal and love them. But women don't want it.
But don't you think?
They don't want this dude.
But nice girls feel like they finish last as well, because
Nice
that
girls don't finish
girl.
last.
No, because the girl that doesn't post and doesn't have a BB and doesn't have a
I
boob, a guy
disagree with
doesn't
that.
see
A girl
her.
will always find a man.
Do you think so?
Always.
Women seem to want to date men who are at that absolute top tier of status who they can't control. That's who women choose. Let's forget, like, would I date me? That's who women choose. Let's look at who women as a whole are choosing. Well, yeah, I don't want to take responsibility away from men, but women have always been the gatekeepers. Men have always been men. I think if you look at any period of history in any part of the world, no matter what the culture, if men had unlimited access to sex, they'd take it. I think it's biological for men to be that way, try and reproduce as many women as possible. I think that women have always been the gatekeepers. They've always been the ones who are saying no. And if women break down the gates and no longer say no, then they're going to have promiscuous societies in godless cities like Miami, like I just described.
Men, like he said before, those nice guys work hard all day, not in shape, hasn't got time, pays his bills. Where's he gonna? Like you said before, he's not gonna meet a girl. He's got no confidence.
Yeah.
Like the story he put before the podcast where his wife runs away with a guy.
Yeah.
He's got a kid. He's 45. He's finished.
But the reality is men invest first, then love it. Whatever it is, whether it's stock, shares, crypto, once they've invested, then they start seeing the value in you. Before investment, they don't. So the girl that doesn't ask for anything and doesn't challenge a man, she actually loses her value with men.
And women like the idea of a top tier male, whether physical specimen or status or finances, etc. And that's never going to be the guy who's like the beta who works hard and gives you all his cash. And that's, you have to make a choice as a woman. And it is a difficult choice to make. If I was a girl, I don't know which one I'd choose.
Yeah.
It is interesting. But I think that even if you were to look at, let's say, lonely men, lonely women.
Yeah.
A lonely woman is a woman with a bunch of choices, but she doesn't want you. A lonely man is a man with no choices. And they're completely different.
Yeah.
And I understand what you're saying about the girl who gets a guy, does anything for her, and hustles her, and gets money and the clinic and all this stuff. But girls don't normally want those. They don't. They want the top tier guy who barely replies. That's the reality.
Sorry,
you have to look at
it's very true.
You have to look at us also, not just societally, right? Because a lot of the things we do don't make societal sense. But
Yeah.
I believe in taking care of a woman. I think if a woman's mine and I can trust her and she's loyal, I
Yeah.
would make sure she's financially taken care of. I think that's actually how men show a lot of their love.
Yeah.
I think a lot of love is shown by making sure the house is stable, paid for, finances.
Yeah.
They ain't got to worry about nothing. I think that's how love is shown. Women primarily show their love through sexual exclusivity. You can find men who do not have that, who do not seem to have that desire to go out. And even though, let me tell you one more thing first,
Yeah.
societally. Men look at the world slightly different than women do.
Yeah.
We look at the world in terms of like completed tasks. If a man gets a Porsche, he goes bang, tick off, okay, I got a Porsche, when am I getting a Rari? That's just it.
Yeah.
I got a house, okay, cool, when am I getting a mansion? That's just how and in the world we live in, men are hyper competitive, right? So the second you get something, you're not allowed to really look at it and enjoy it too much. You got to go on to the next thing. And unfortunately, we do that with women. We want to go bang. Okay, she's a solid chick. She's home. She ain't cheating. Boom. Okay, we get another home. That's just how we are, right? Which is part of our society.
Very difficult. Like, I have so much respect for women who really stick by their men and, do it for the family.
Yeah,
It's so hard to find these loyal women nowadays, and I really think it's because of the influence of these influencers.
When a lot of the stigma behind just running to a new man disappears, then it's the answer for everything. It's the cure-all. That's the problem with the West. The reason the West is impossible to find a wife is because she's been through so many dudes before you. The second you half annoy her 1%, when her answer is new dude. But also from an evolutionary perspective, yes, we're evolved to do these things. And you can find men who don't seem to have the instinct to chase those women, but that's going to be the same man who doesn't have the instinct to chase those money, get power, get influence. Relationships as a whole are difficult. If I was a girl, I have no idea what kind of guy I would date. I'm not saying I'm going to be out there being a massive cheater or something, but I am the kind of guy who, I'm out. Oh, well, you said you're coming home. I said I'm out.
So what kind of woman are you going to attract?
Well,
with
that comes into that's where the game gets difficult, right? Good girls do not avoid high status males. Not at all. Good girls, they may not stick around as much or something like that, but good girls do not avoid high status males. High status males do not have any disadvantage across any of the playing fields at all. It doesn't matter if you're a high status male who's the most famous man in the world has an advantage with virgins and hoes alike. The exact same. He's that guy. That's it.
But